Keeping your business's digital assets safe requires your whole team to be on the same page in relation to cybersecurity, and that's where a cybersecurity policy can be extremely helpful. In fact, you'll actually need two, one for internal use by your team and one for external use by your customers. For your customers, the key thing is to let them know how you keep their information safe, both when it's being transferred in communications or transactions and when it's in storage, without revealing the specific technology you use. If you have created your website using a site builder tool or are using an e-commerce platform, security measures will be built in. You can find out how through the help or FAQ sections. If your site has been custom designed, ask your web developer for help. You should also let customers know how long you keep their information for, what you will do in the event of a data breach, what their responsibilities are when using your systems, and how they can notify you about a bug or security weakness. Your external cybersecurity policy should be available to your customers wherever they need to provide you with personal information. You could put a link in the footer of your website or on pages where people create accounts or fill in forms. If you're thinking that sounds a lot like your privacy policy, you're right. There is a big crossover here, and one statement can tick both boxes. In fact, the Privacy Commissioner has developed an online privacy statement generator which could help you. You can find it under Tools at privacy.org.nz. Your internal policy will be more detailed and should cover 5 core areas: data, systems, access, users, and problems. If this seems a bit overwhelming, there are online policy builder tools that can help. For example, go to wpb.business.govt.nz and check out their IT and social media policy tool. It's still important to cross-check policies made using these tools to see that they cover everything your business does and needs. For data, your policy should provide guidelines for the information you collect. You should only gather what you need for the job you have to do. You should also state where it should be stored, how it will be protected, how it will be backed up, and who will be responsible for the backup. If you promise your customers that you'll keep data for a certain period, you need to make sure that this happens, and that data is handled properly when the time is up. For systems, you need to cover what software your team can use online or download, and who is responsible for keeping everything updated. Updates are often security patches, so it's important not to ignore them. Any device that can connect to the internet is a potential gateway into your system, so all need to be kept up to date. Access addresses things like password requirements, when multi-factor authentication is needed, what should be used to connect to your network remotely, and what devices can be connected to your network. For example, will you allow people to connect their personal phones or smart devices to your Wi-Fi? Or will you provide a guest Wi-Fi for this purpose, or prohibit it altogether? You may also define who has access to what. Giving everyone access to everything makes your system more vulnerable. Giving people access to just the systems or folders they need for their job reduces your cybersecurity risk. If someone needs access to something outside their standard permissions, perhaps allow it for the duration of the task, rather than making a permanent change. IT or cybersecurity specialists refer to this as following the principle of least privilege. Users covers the people factor. How do you expect your team to look after their devices, accounts, and passwords? Consider the possibility of a device being stolen or damaged, particularly if taken off-site, as this also creates risks for your data and systems. This section may also provide guidance to help team members become more cyber aware. Education is the only way to avoid cyber attacks like phishing or social engineering, which rely on tricking users into clicking links or revealing information. You might also provide guidance on safe and acceptable online browsing. Finally, the problems section explains what to do and who to contact if things go wrong or if you've had a narrow escape. It's very important to have a clear process for reporting potential incidents to the appropriate person or team. Your cybersecurity policy provides the broad brushstrokes of your risk management strategy. The finer detail will be supplied by a cybersecurity vulnerability assessment, which looks at risks and responses for specific systems or devices. Both your policy and your vulnerability assessment need to be living documents, regularly reviewed, revised, and reshared as your systems change, as team members come and go, and as new cyber threats emerge. A cyber attack could lose you money, customers, and reputation, and expose you to legal action and considerable stress. Time spent developing cybersecurity policies, practices, and training is definitely time well invested.